everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we're going to talk about the decision for summoning. Which banner should you summon on?
The finest blood for the most untainted soul.
Alright, so on Friday, tomorrow, as of me making and posting this video, we have two 10 times events popping, and they are going to be on separate banners. And what we mean by that is they will not influence each other. Like, this is a banner, this is a banner. There will be a 10 times setup separately for the guaranteed banner for Captain Rev, and there'll be separate banners set up for both of these with 10 times boosted rates to get Arrogance, Razak, Oleg, Soleil, and Medan, which is a really great banner. So I wanted to talk about the two banners, the decision between which one to pull for, and how you make the decision based on your account. I'm going to try to always do this every time there's a debate, you know, like every time there's not just a simple 2 times event, right? So when there's a decision to be made between a debate like this, try my best to give my opinion and advice based on my experiences with this game so far and my experiences with actually playing around with the heroes. Thank you, test server. So, let's start with the big one, the different one, right? So Captain Rev is an event exclusive hero. He is going to have a 10 times rate up and a guarantee within 250. So this means you could pull him sooner. Like if you are close to your pity, and you're hitting that 200 mark with a guaranteed at 220 for sake of rare summoning crystals, you can get him sooner than that. It doesn't have to be hitting the 250. There is a chance. So this is really interesting because I've never seen them do this. Like in Raid Shadow Legends, when they do a guaranteed event, it's not like that hero is boosted rates to pull him early. It's just you get him with a guaranteed amount of summons, and there's no other boosts otherwise. But he's going to have both. He's going to have a 10 times boost and a guarantee. So personally, it's a hard decision of pulling or not pulling for him if you want to try to get an exclusive hero, because for one, it's at least a 10 times, right? 10 times here, 10 times here. But for this, it's also a guarantee, right? If you have 250, you're guaranteed to get one. So what if you don't have 250? Then do you pull? That's the real question right there. So again, it comes down to your decision to be a champion collector, a hero collector, and just get him because he is an event exclusive hero. I mean, he looks amazing. Overall, I would say he is the weakest of the 3 legendaries that are part of these 10 times event. He's the least exciting. The only difference is his passive allowing us to obtain extra gold in battles by 6%. Honestly, this alone makes him really interesting. This is what makes him interesting, not the rest of his kit, not the rest of his whatever. The fact that he's a defender that does damage and crowd control, that's not the most interesting thing about him. This is what's the most interesting, because over time with an account, if you're farming the gold rate, especially with boosted rates, and you have this on top of it, or just in general with any farming at all, that's going to add up a lot over time. So that's definitely something that piques my interest. Oops, as I click off of it. That piques my interest though, for sure. But I don't think it's worth it alone, considering the other banner. The other banner is just so good. We have Arrogance, who is one of the best heroes probably in the game, period. I mean, just look at him. The weapon is amazing. The graphics are just gorgeous. And he's literally, as I put in my video, a jack of all trades. He can do everything. He's a fighter, but he's also a ranged fight, like a ranged unit. He's a close combat unit. He can attack air enemies. Like, he's literally everything. So I can't imagine not wanting to pull for him. If you're just comparing the heroes themselves, for one, you guys can watch my videos. I did put out a video on Captain Rev, and I did put out a video on Arrogance. So you can find those on my YouTube, or they're actually linked within the in-game community guide section. Razak, I'm also putting out a video on tomorrow. So my very first post tomorrow will include a video on Razak, and he really surprised me. He's very good. He also has, like Captain Rev, he has a boost of experience obtained through battles, which is a really cool passive. But even without that, he's still a really good hero. He's kind of like a legendary version of Maul to some extent. Not exactly, but very close. So if you're a fan of Maul or you see the value there, that's also something to consider. Now, another thing to consider with this banner is the amazing epics on it. Medan and Oleg. Oleg definitely has a reduced chance to drop. I've only pulled one ever for anybody. You guys have seen all the summons I've done. I've done 3,000-4,000 summons for people. I've pulled one Oleg. So we know, even though everything is supposed to be the same, we know that's not true. These games definitely lie about that. They're not transparent about certain heroes having boosted chances or reduced chances of being summoned. And he's definitely got a reduced chance of being summoned, and he's very good. If you want to know someone who's probably got some great content on him, I would say Mabucket, because Mabucket loves Oleg, and you can really rely on him for some hard content like Gear Raid 2. So considering how good the epics are, this banner just sticks out to me already. Soleil is unfortunately not that interesting. She's more like single target, couple extra bounces, and a couple fireballs. But like, she's not that exciting, unfortunately. Unfortunately. She's Nero's daughter, though. Hey! I love her look. She's gorgeous, but unfortunately not the best. But this other banner does have an epic on it. I think that he's going to be boosted as well for the 10 times, because we get Osiren for free with a special event that we're going to get to play. But I think they mean he's also actually going to be a proper 10 times boosted hero. But he is okay, but he's definitely not a top tier mage compared to the other epics on the other banner. So all things considered, I think if you just want to know which is better, I 100% say this. I don't have any question about that. I don't know why anyone would choose to pull on this unless you are a Kraken. I'm just being blunt. If you can afford to summon on this, guarantee him with 250 summons, and then you pull for this as well. That's, I think, probably the best strategy. Or if you've saved your legendary summoning crystals for the divine summoning, maybe you pull all of those for this banner, but you pull all of your rare summoning crystals to get the 250 guarantee for him. That could be another strategy. But yeah, unless you're like a hero collector where you feel the need to get someone just because they're exclusive, regardless of how good they are or not, I can't see pulling for that banner at all. Again, if you can guarantee it, sure, go ahead. But even still, I would rather hit my guaranteed pity getting him, Razak, honestly, Razak or Arrogance, than I would getting him. He's not bad. I'm not saying this guy is bad. He's just not that exciting compared to the other two. He is limited, though, because he's a one-time only. It might be many months or a year or whatever before we see him again. That could be the reason you pull for him, because the difference is also the summoning pool, right? So he is not going to be added after the event is over. But these two are going to be added to the pool after the event is over. But the more heroes that keep getting added to the pool, the less and less chance you're going to have to be able to summon for those specific heroes you want in like a 2 times event. If you're waiting for the 2 times because you're just trying to get the best rates possible, well, it's a little rough, yes, we know. But if you're waiting for the 2 times and you're waiting for them to pop in here as well, like Vierna and Silas did, just keep in mind that the more we get added, the less and less likely it's going to be the one you want. So this is kind of the time. I really strongly think it actually is better so far in this game to pull for a 10 times event, not a 2 times. And I say that as someone who always advocated the opposite in like Raid Shadow Legends. But that's because this game is so early and there's not many legendaries. So if there is a legendary on a banner that you really, really want, this is your best chance now more than ever to actually get them. Personally, I have a spreadsheet of all of my summons. 2 times event, 10 times event, legendary crystals, rare crystals. Both of them have been personally disappointing for me during 2 times events. One time I got a few, fine. Another time I still had to hit 200 for, almost get into the pity, right? 2 times event for legendary crystals. I pulled 9 during the 2 times. The other few were during a regular 10 times event. And well, I'm 15 into my pity now for legendary divine summoning. So is the 2 times really that much more worth it to wait for? No, it's not. And I'm strongly going to say that for the sake of this game, for the current state of the game, because of that. Because of the small pool of heroes makes a 10 times rate up on one hero actually means something. Unlike Raid Shadow Legends, where there's 800 characters in the game, of course you're going to have a hard time summoning for the one you want. How many legendaries are in Raid? I don't know, a few hundred, right? At least? Gotta be like 300. Oh my goodness. So of course you're gonna have a lot smaller chance when there's like 50 in one game and 300 in another. 10 times means more here. And 2 times means less here. And the reason I say that is, in this game, the 2 times events do not boost your chances to get epic heroes. So for you raid players that hear, oh, I always, you hear 10 times and 2 times, you know it 2 times is better. Keep in mind, this game does not give you any boost for epics, and that's really disappointing. But a 10 times kind of does in a way of actually getting epics you want, right? And if this is a banner where there's 2 very good epics that you should want to get and be very happy to get multiple copies of, I think that just makes it a little bit more worthy. So, like I said, I have videos on both heroes, and personally, when making my video for Captain Rev, I was trying to find ways to make him look good, where there was no effort at making these 2 characters look good. They're just good. I was trying to be creative to make him work, and he is good and unique in the crowd control aspect, but at the end of the day, when it comes to defenders, why do we want a defender that's going to do damage? We want a defender that's going to stay alive and support the team. You can do that with Baron and Isolde. You don't need a legendary defender. If we're going to go melee damage dealers, well, that's what the fighters are for. And if you're going for a fighter in a single melee combat unit, you're going to go for arrogance. So, all right, guys, I really hope that this was helpful. If you disagree, feel free to comment below. If you agree, comment below. Whatever, guys. I always respect other people's opinions as long as you're not rude about it. But that is just my thoughts after comparing the heroes, being a little bit aware of them, looking at other people's opinions, like Mabucket's tier list. Go look there if you want to see how he feels about the 2 heroes, for example. But yeah, I just think this is such a good banner that I don't care. 10 times, 2 times, brand new account from day one. I think everyone should pull on this banner. Normally I would say, don't pull on it 10 times unless you're close to pity. That was what I said. But the more I get into this game, the more I realized it's not that big of a difference. And if you're gonna hit pity or you want to risk it, this is a really good chance to do so. Oh, and wait, one more thing. Friday always means a summoning party. So if you guys want to join me live on Twitch, I will be doing summons for viewers. Those viewer summons always get turned into a YouTube video afterward. So if you want me to do your summons, let me know, or just come hang out, support the people. Let's see what RNG we could get. Let's get some people some guaranteed undead Captain Jack Sparrows, and let's get some undead. Let's get some amazing kick-ass demons. I mean, he's so cool, right? Let's have some fun, and I'll see you guys live on Twitch or in the next video.